Hello, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. I cannot believe it, but I am coming back for my 3-month Sister Lock update, as well as I have had my second retie. And so if you're interested in just hearing what I have going on, I have a couple of clips from before I had the retie and then a little short clip after. I still don't know how to record those, but whatever. I also want to talk a little bit about how I handle my hair with working out and some problem areas that I have and how I intend to address them from this point forward. And so if you're interested in hearing what I have to chat about, well, then stick around after the clip. If not, I will see you all hopefully sooner than later. For everyone that is hanging around, you know what to do. You know the drill. I'll see you after the clip.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from.
Okay, so this is Dana with the Freedom Police channel and essenceofme.com. I'm coming back for my 3-month Sister Lock update, and actually I'm recording this a little bit early, like just shy of a week, but I wanted to go ahead and get it done because I have a lot of stuff going on. And was a very interesting month. I guess the first place that I'll start is with my clips. So let me insert my clip before the retie, my little short clip after the retie, and then I will come back. Okay? See you in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to dive in here. So this month, I really feel like my hair is starting to fill in a lot more. I did, as of the time of this recording, my retie was done on Wednesday, and today is Saturday. And I can't like really get it any better than this, but really like this time around, I did not have to wear like a hat or a head wrap like I did the past 2 times. I still get the spaciness that you get with the retie. However, it's not as prominent as it was before. And so, I am enjoying that. I'm especially this time around. But one of the things that I mentioned, and I think both of the clips, and I'm not certain, so I just put the whole clips in. So if I'm repeating, forgive me. But I'm approaching running season, and so what that means for me is that I am running much more. I think I'm running more, not much more. I'm running more. And so this past month, I went from still working out like 4 to 6 days a week. I'm going to say 4 to 6 because some weeks I just don't get it in like I should. But for the most part, I get at least 4. And then, but this month it increased as far as how many of those days were spent running. And for the most part, I do some running with every workout, but this, like, let's say, for example, this week I ran 2 or 3 45-minute runs. And so I am a sweater. I am in Houston. It is starting to get extremely humid. And so that means I sweat a lot. TMI, but it's the truth. And so what I found is that my hair is getting drenched almost every day. And I didn't see a lot of difference because of that, except for in two areas, which were like right in here. And so right in there, eventually, like by the time it was time for me to wash, it was like some of them were either barely hanging on or not. And so I had to reestablish those. Some of them I did what I deemed tacking so that just the position of that lock would be maintained, and I did not retie all the way to the root. But then there was others that I did completely because I still had to work out and I didn't want them to completely slip out. So I want to kind of mention two things about that experience of those two areas. One thing that I did when I reestablished them, I did something that I did on my first set of locks, which is I did a 12-point rotation versus a 4-point rotation, which my loctician originally did, and I'll explain that too. And the 12-point rotation is something that I did on my locks the first time for my very fine areas because I have fine hair and my hair is soft. Not just fine, it's fine and soft. So you put those two together and sometimes it gets very disrespectful. It just does. And so I did the 12-point rotation on those areas to reestablish those. And my intent from here on out is to watch them a little closer. This past time, I waited way too late to reestablish them. And the reason why is because I respect the fact that my loctician is in my head. And I love her dearly. I am enjoying the process. And it's awesome to just sit in the chair and let somebody else do it and then be done with it. And so I didn't want to really, I don't want to put my hands in there unless I really have to. And that was my thinking until those areas kind of just showed me, okay, I can't fall back that much with my workouts because the running will increase from here on out, which means the likelihood that that would happen again or repeatedly is highly probable. Before it may have been an issue until the ends locked. And once the ends lock, you can have slippage, but it's not going to come completely loose because the locked ends will hold it into place. You know what I mean? So my plan, so the second part of that is my plan from here on out is to watch those areas. What I used to do on my first set of locks is I didn't retie my whole head, but every 6 to 8 weeks. But in those areas, I would look more at the 3-week mark if I needed to do at least one full rotation or to bring it closer to my base. And not trying to get it tight all the way down to the root, but just to basically tack it into place. If you ever sew and you had to hem, like my mother used to call it tacking, like when you had to change the length of your pants and you just put a few stitches there just to hold it in place. It wasn't a full sew, but it was enough so that the fabric wouldn't come loose. That's kind of what I'm thinking about if you get the visual or the idea. So I'll be kind of taking a look at those every 2 to 3 weeks because of my hair getting completely wet. Another thing that came with that, which was the second, well, I guess really 3 things, but was the second thing is that I really believe that I will need to not wash more frequently, but rinse more frequently. And what I mean by that, and this is taking a huge chance, but I feel like it's my head and I have to figure it out because over the next between now and June, I will go from 3 to 4 runs with 3 or so walking, cross training at runs to running 6 days a week. And that means I kind of want to get a handle on and get some sort of system now, while the demands on my time are a little bit, it's less now and it'll increase. So I want to try, okay, don't try this at home, disclaimer. I want to try rinsing my hair maybe once a week with no banning. Okay, so what that will mean is I have to be very careful. The banning and braiding of Sisterlocks is ridiculous. Like the time that it takes. If I've gone out and I'm doing an hour or hour and a half workout and you come in and you have to band, to wash, to rinse, to take out the rubber bands, to separate at the roots, all of this stuff, like if that takes an hour and a half work out to be in like this 3 hour ordeal. And who got time for that? I don't have time for that. So, but at the same time, I'm not trying to mess with my coins because I am paying for this on my head. So, I plan to, but I need to rinse because I do sweat a lot and my hair is getting soaked and I don't want any like salt buildup or anything like that. Because she thought she saw a little bit of buildup, and I know that's just salt because I don't use any products, I don't use any oils, and I only mist my hair a couple times a week, and that's really light, and that doesn't have any products in it but a little bit of oil, like a little bit, literally like drops in a whole bottle. So I'm gonna try rinsing once a week and shampooing every 2 weeks. So rinse, shampoo, kind of thing like that. The last thing, it is as far as my maintenance is concerned that I plan to do is we are doing my reties at 5 weeks instead of 6 weeks. I believe we did it like right at 5 or right at 6. I'm gonna look. We did it for. I did it on the 10th, and my next retie is on the 14th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, right at the opening of the 6 week. So 5 weeks. So, and that I think that'll also help with those areas and to ensure that I'm not doing any type of damage, which I don't believe so. And so, yeah, that's the plan. So with all of that said, this month went great. I'm loving the fullness that I'm starting to experience. I did go through and do like some nipping here and there because you all, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I had a frohawk and then I went to a taper. And then there were some areas like right in here that were just, I was experiencing a little bit of damage, but it was mainly because that was another one of my problem areas. So when she established the lock, like it was like some little strands on the end. And so I kind of went through and snipped those so that everything is kind of on a nice little base. And so I hope I don't drive my loctician crazy. I didn't go nuts with being in my hair, but it's my hair, and I want to love my hair, and I want to take care of it, and I also have to take care of my hair according to my lifestyle, and I see more running in my future, and my lifestyle it will get more active, especially as I start traveling this summer, and so I need to do things that will make sure that I'm maintaining healthy locks while at the same time being livable with my life. And so, with that all said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the description box below, or the comment section below to recap from here on out. And I'll let you guys know, like on my next retie, if it's like it was too much or this is not going to work, I'll just revise it. But everything that I'm telling you right now, and I did discuss with her, and she was on board. Like everything that I did, she said it was good. Everything in the back is going beautifully. I even have some buds in the back, like that are hanging on the ends, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, so I will be making. Oh, and that was the other thing. She did tell me that even though I was concerned about those areas where I was like in there and making sure everything was okay. She said it was totally normal, that I didn't have any more slippage or anything, any more than other people would have that don't have the type of lifestyle that I have. And so that was comforting. Like, I thought it was bad, but it wasn't. But I do still want to maintain the way that I'm going to outline here. So I'm going to watch these areas every 2 to 3 weeks on my own. And then I will be visiting my loctician every 5 weeks instead of 6. And I will be rinsing once a week without banning, just literally like letting the water kind of just run through my hair. And then I will ban and every 2 weeks when I shampoo, and I'm still using the Sisterlocks shampoo, which I really don't care for, but I'm going to use the rest of this bottle and then talk it over with my loctician and take it from there. And so that'll be it. Weekly rinses every 2 to 3 weeks, checking out my problem areas, my finer areas here and also back here. But the ones back here held on well enough for me that I didn't have to do anything with them. And then every 5 weeks, visit my loctician. In closing, this was longer than I thought, but in closing, you have to do what's best for your hair. And I think one of the things that is great about Sisterlocks is that you don't want to give yourself freedom in your hair expression and in your hair maintenance only to be latched onto having to go to a loctician. Like, for me, I don't see that as freedom. I see going to the loctician as a pamper, as a treat, and as something that I just want to do for myself, but not as a necessity. And I think that's kind of the downside of what you would consider the Sisterlock brand. But I still have Sisterlocks. I'm going to maintain the way that I maintain, and anybody that has something to say about it, that's their opinion, and I'm going to let it ride the way that I do. And what I can say is I am so thankful that I chose a loctician that I have. I mean, we knew each other before, but I really enjoy hanging out with her when I am getting my hair done. And I also like that she is open and we can talk about how I want to move forward in my process. She knew my history with locks. I think she was concerned because she thought I would be more in there, but I don't. I don't plan to mess up anything that she has going on in helping me establish what I have. But at the same time, I don't plan to just totally relinquish my head, and I just don't. And we knew that from the beginning. What she did ask me is to try to make sure that I let her get everything established for at least a year. And I honestly believe that I will, and that I will continue beyond that. And maybe eventually get to the point where maybe I go like quarterly to her or something like that. And who knows, I may keep doing the way that we're doing now. We'll know after a year. But we're a quarter into this ride and I'm enjoying it. So that is it. I had a few questions, I think, on the last video, and I'm going to look really fast, and then I will close this out. Okay. I was asked about the pros and the cons of Sisterlocks and what my likes and dislikes are on this journey. I believe that the tag video that I did, which I will link in this video, will cover some of that. But I honestly think the pros and the cons and the likes and the dislikes are kind of similar. I think one of the cons that I'm finding is that it does seem like it could be restrictive, but I think that's all how you view everything. I think part of what I love about it, really, truth be told, has part to do with the Sisterlock branding and the sizing and all of that. But the other part really is about my relationship with my loctician and my personal decision on how I want to handle my hair from this point forward until I change my mind. And that is, the freedom of just getting up and going is amazing. But that I think is with most locks, and I think that is prevalent with anything that's done with an interlock style maintenance. Being able to get up and literally go every single morning, hands down, like you can't beat it. But with that comes what your maintenance will be in between those, because I don't want to freeform. So there is the maintenance that comes with that. But the maintenance that, like when I did my retie, it took us, because we kept stopping. We were talking about 2.5 hours or something like that, because we talk too, and we hang out before, we hang out after, and so that's partly us. But think about that. Let's say even if it was 3 hours, 3 hours every 6 weeks of maintenance, other than the whole bending and braiding, which I last time with my other locks I didn't do that at all. This time I feel like it's, you all kind of get what I feel about it. Um, and so in the end, I feel like the biggest pro is the freedom of getting up and going. The con is probably, to me, the greatest con is the cost. Some of the things that the branding restrictions, like if you don't maintain and you don't have a license, certification, all that, I don't, I don't buy that. And so I understand that there may be other opinions, but opinions are like fill in the blank, right? So I think in the end, locking is a very personal choice, but I honestly believe more people would embrace that personal choice if they knew how much freedom and time you get from making that choice. And I think the sister lock method helps with that, because the sizing of it gives you some of the versatility and flexibility that you have with loose hair, while still having the freedom of locks. And to me, in the end, that's a win-win, right? For me. And so if you have any other questions, put them below. Thank you for like enduring this long video. And yeah, I have 3 months down and looking forward to what is to come. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to talking with you all hopefully sooner than later. If you haven't done so already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to be back with you sooner than later. Take care and goodbye.
Don't be Don't be Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go,